Waukesha, Wisconsin, a town known for its quiet streets, friendly neighbors, and the kind of life where nothing ever seems to go wrong. But on a cold February evening in 2024, that illusion was shattered forever. Behind the walls of a modest suburban home, a twisted secret was rotting in silence. 2 bodies, a missing teen, and a plan that would shake the very foundations of American democracy. This is the story of Nikita Casap, the boy who wanted to burn the world. On February 28, 2024, deputies from the Waukesha County Sheriff's Department arrived for a welfare check. Friends and co-workers hadn't heard from 35-year-old Tatiana Casap or her husband, 51-year-old Donald Meyer, in over 2 weeks. The couple had vanished. No calls, no texts, nothing. When officers entered the home, what they discovered was unimaginable. Tatiana and Donald were dead, each shot once. Their bodies left to decompose inside the home. For over 2 weeks, no signs of struggle, and one person was missing, their 17-year-old son, Nikita. To neighbors, Nikita Casap was quiet, maybe a little withdrawn, but polite, just another high school student in a small American town. But beneath that silence, a storm had been building for years. As detectives would soon learn, this was no ordinary runaway. This was an extremist in the making, and his parents were just his first targets. A federal affidavit would later reveal that Nikita Casap was not only responsible for the double homicide, he was planning to assassinate former President Donald Trump. Let that sink in. A 17-year-old plotting the death of a former US president. Investigators traced his digital footprint. What they found was chilling. Casap had posted about his ideology on TikTok and Telegram. He aligned himself with a shadowy extremist group called the Order of Nine Angles, a neo-Nazi cult that encourages violence, terrorism, and the collapse of democratic governments. This was not just rebellion, it was radicalization. Inside his digital files, agents found what he called a manifesto, 3 pages long, but packed with hatred. In it, he called for the assassination of Trump to ignite a race war and overthrow the US government. The manifesto included Nazi symbols, quotes from Adolf Hitler, and repeated declarations of loyalty to white supremacy. Casap wrote, "Hail Hitler! Hail the white race! Hail victory!" But this wasn't just online rage. He was making moves, terrifying, real-world moves. ASAP had researched and paid for a weaponized drone, one capable of dropping Molotov cocktails, poisons, or explosives from above. He wanted to turn the skies into a weapon. He studied poisons, explosives, detonators. He downloaded tutorials on bomb making. He took photos of his stepfather's credit cards, even secured bank passwords, all part of a plan to gain complete control over his resources and disappear after the attack. But there were warnings. Classmates later told detectives that Nikita had shared his dark fantasies. He talked about killing his parents, about needing money. One student remembered him saying, "I'll make friends with someone who has a gun, then steal it." But no one could have guessed how real it was. On February 11th, 2024, authorities believe Nikita Casap shot and killed both his mother and stepfather. Tatiana and Donald, the people who raised him, fed him, loved him. He left their bodies in their house. He didn't flee immediately. He stayed. For over 2 weeks, Casap lived among their corpses. He planned, he packed, he plotted. On February 28th, the same day the bodies were found, Nikita was pulled over in Waukene, Kansas, 800 miles from home, driving his stepfather's stolen SUV. Inside the car, $14,000 in $100 bills, jewelry worth thousands, a loaded Smith & Wesson .357 Magnum, his victim's driver's licenses, shell casings. He was arrested without incident. A simple stop sign saved countless lives. Back in Wisconsin, the investigation exploded. On his phone, diagrams for bombs, conversations about joining a Russian extremist network, photos of the White House messages asking about fleeing to Ukraine. One chilling message read, "So while in Ukraine, I'll be able to live a normal life, even when it's found out I did it." He believed he could start a new life after triggering mass death. Now, Nikita Casap faces a mountain of charges. In Wisconsin State Court, 2 counts of first-degree murder, 2 counts of hiding a corpse, theft concealment of a homicide weapon. In federal court, attempted assassination of a US president conspiracy, attempted use of weapons of mass destruction. He awaits arraignment. His trial will likely take months, maybe years. But the scars he's left on his family, his community, and this country will last a lifetime. What creates a monster like Nikita Casap? Was it ideology, mental illness, hatred, or something deeper? One thing is clear. This was not just a tragedy. It was a time bomb built in secret and disarmed just in time. In the age of social media and silent radicalization, we may never see the next threat coming until it's too late.
Drive. Prosecutors say Donald and Tatiana Mayer had been dead for days, but their son Nikita was still there. Court filings say footage from a surveillance camera showed it train on Donald Mayer's body, covered by blankets and pillows. Nikita entering the room to keep candles lit. At one point, Nikita grabbed the camera and turned it around and heard him say, "So you can see him there. I can literally see the rotten body."
Found in Kansas with victim A and victim B's property. He has been speaking with someone in Russian about moving to Ukraine after committing these crimes.